In this video, we will be adding and subtracting fractions, especially those with uncommon denominators. So let's say we have 1/3 plus 2/6. The first thing you want to notice is that they have different denominators. When you add fractions, they have to have the same denominator. So how do we find a common denominator? To do this, we must find the least common multiple. So what are the multiples of 3? 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 3 is 9. We could keep going, but that's enough for this problem. Now 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, and 6 times 3 is 18. The least common multiple is the smallest number that both the 3 and the 6 have in common. In this case, that number is 6. So we have to rewrite the problem so that both fractions have a denominator of 6. Now, 2/6 already has a denominator of 6, so we can leave that alone. But 1/3 does not. How do we change the denominator without changing the value of the fraction? Because we do not want to do that. So it's like saying 3 times what equals 6? Well, 3 times 2 equals 6. But we can't do that to the denominator unless we also do it to the numerator. So we have to multiply 1 by 2, which gives us 2/6. Now we can add 2 plus 2 is 4. Denominator of 6, and that is our problem. Now, let's try another example. So, let's say we have the problem, let's see here. Let's say we have the problem 3/8 plus 1/4. Again, we have to make them have the same denominator. So, what are the multiples of 8? 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. And 8 times 3 is 24. And again, we could keep going, but that's enough. What are the multiples of 4? 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And 4 times 3 is 12. Again, what is the smallest number that the 8 and the 4 have in common? That would be 8. That means we have to rewrite this problem so that both fractions have a denominator of 8. Like this, and okay. So 3/8 already has a denominator of 8, so we can leave that one alone. 1/4 does not. So 4 times what equals 8? Well, 4 times 2. But again, we cannot do that to the denominator unless we also do it to the numerator. So 1 times 2. 1 times 2 is 2. That gives us 2/8. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Again, we leave the denominators. That gives us 5/8. Now, let's try a couple examples with when we are subtracting fractions. And it's the same idea. You have to have common denominators for the fractions you are subtracting. So, let's say we have 5/6 minus 2/3. These do not have common denominators. So again, what are the multiples of 6? 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. And 6 times 3 is 18. What are the multiples of 3? 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, and let's say 3 times 3 is 9. So, what is the smallest number that the 6 and the 3 have in common? That would be 6. So we have to rewrite this problem so that both fractions have a denominator of 6. Like this, and there we go. 5/6 already has the right denominator, so we can leave that how it is. Now, what about 2/3? It's like saying 3 times what equals 6? Well, we know 3 times 2 equals 6. But again, we can't do it to the denominator unless we also do it to the numerator. So we have to multiply 2 times 2. Gives us 4, and we can subtract. 5 minus 4 is 1. That gives us 1/6. So, let's try one more example of subtracting. So again, it's the same general rule. You have to find lowest common multiple like we just did. You can write out the multiples of both denominators. So let's try that one more time. Let's say we have 2/3 minus 4/12. So again, what is the least common multiple? What are the multiples of 3? 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 3 is 9. What about 12? 12 times 1 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24, and 12 times 3 is 36. So we have to rewrite this problem using the least common multiple, which would be, actually we have to do one more of 3. So we said 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12. This means that the least common multiple has to be 12. So we have to rewrite this problem so that both fractions have denominators of 12, like this. Okay, so 4/12 already has the proper denominator, but 2/3 does not. 3 times what equals 12? That would be 3 times 4, but remember, we also have to do this in the numerator, which means we have to have 2 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8, so we have 8/12 minus 4/12. 8 minus 4 is 4. That gives us 4/12. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Feel free to let me know if there are any topics you'd like me to make videos about in the future.